Hi YouTube, it's Resale Tessa. I'm actually coming here to you with my first video in 10 months. I actually just looked at my old videos to see how long it had been and realized that I had not done a video since August. Did not realize it had been that long. I actually thought I did one at the beginning of the year and did an update for you guys on sales. Maybe I didn't upload it though. That's always a possibility. If I decided I didn't like it or if I got interrupted in the middle of it, it's very possible that it just didn't get updated. But have some things I wanted to update you on. I do intend to start doing videos on a regular basis. Gonna try and actually get some type of a schedule going. I don't know whether it's going to be, once a week or once a month or twice a month or, what it's going to be. But I'm going to try and get some sort of a regular schedule that I can live with and try and keep you guys updated. Still have the same goal. So as you can see, my environment has changed. And so the biggest update that I have is that we have actually moved. We were actually able to buy a house in April and moved. It has taken me all of the months of May and June to get organized. But we're very excited to actually have met that goal. We're able to buy a house and able to actually get us moved, which is great. We actually were renting originally. And as you can see from some of my videos, our workspace and our work desk were directly actually between our dining room and our living room. So our work area was starting to just kind of infringe on our living space. And even though sometimes I may still actually work in the living room at night watching TV, I didn't want the workspace to become such an issue that I had to worry about people coming over because my house was such a mess from the business. And unfortunately, the business area is it's just a mess sometimes. And actually, as you can kind of see, this is actually my husband's going to be his testing table. He's going to put up monitors and game systems to test his video games and things. So that's actually, that's his mess at the moment. But this room, and you can actually, I can show you this. It's just a very small room. I don't know what this would be like, maybe a 12 by 12. Yeah, maybe 12 by 12, might be a little bit, maybe an extra foot bigger than that. I'm not even sure it's that big. And actually that side over there is not even 12 feet, because that's a 6-foot table. So that's actually probably only about 7 feet. And this way might actually only be like 9. So maybe it's like 7 by 9. So it's a very small room, but it is big enough for me to have a desk here. My husband's desk is actually going to be over there. There is a white desk there for him now, but we're going to switch that out to something a little bit more stable and sturdy, a little bit bigger. And then, like I said, we actually have this, he's got the 6-foot table here behind me. That's going to be the testing area. And then, I'm going to show you guys some videos later anyways, but I'm just kind of giving you just a rundown that one of the most exciting things about this house is that we had all the space that we needed. So we had bedrooms for my son. I had a bedroom for my son. We had a guest bedroom. We had our bedroom. We have a living room. We have a sunroom. Like, we have nice space for the family, but it's completely separate from the business space. And that is nice. This house actually had a very large den, which is turned into our inventory room. It is a mess at the moment. I do have my listed inventory organized so that I know where to find it, but the unlisted inventory is not quite as neat as it was. Now, at the other house, we had things kind of spread out because we didn't have the space. So we had some things stacked in that office area where I had kept my desk and where I worked, but we also had a 4th bedroom that was full of posh, was what I called the posh room, that had my posh inventory, but it also had a lot of other unlisted inventory in the closet. We had stuff stacked in the garage, and we had an inventory room, which had our listed inventory, but then also had several shelves of unlisted inventory as well. So it all got combined into one room and is now in what would be a den or a front formal living room or something in this house. So it's completely separate from our living space. And it's not, I don't want to say it's smaller because I think it's probably about the same amount of space, but because it's all in one room and we're not sharing spaces, it just seems like it's so much more condensed and crowded in that room. But again, part of it is just my husband's desk pile. It's unlisted inventory that needs to get listed. So that's something that we're actually currently working on. And what the next thing I was going to say too was this next room over here, and I'm not going to show it to you right now because I am going to do a video later, but this is actually like a utility room, and it goes down the length, the side of this house, probably 20 feet. That direction, and it's not a typical laundry room per se, so it's not, or utility room, so it's not like a little small room with just a washer and dryer. It actually is a second kitchen, and we bought an older home that actually had a second kitchen in it. I think the original owners originally had some type of a sandwich shop or something here, so they had the kitchen that they use for their sandwich shop separate from their actual kitchen. And it turned out that this space was great for us because it has cabinets, it has a sink, it has a space. Now we are going to actually make it into a utility room slash business room for us later, because we are going to move our washer and dryer out here, which is not currently. But the rest of the space we're actually using for our shipping table, our boxes, that kind of storage. And then all the cabinets are great for other things. I have talked about in my YouTube videos that I also do a lot of sewing. And in the past, I've had a business, home business, sewing and doing alterations for people. So I have a lot of fabric and a lot of craft supplies that are in containers and things. And so the cabinets in that kitchen turned out to be great for us to use as storage. And so that room has just turned into, I mean, it's definitely going to be a messy room. It's going to be kind of a catch-all right now, but it's so much better for us to get our some of the stuff out of our living area so that things are not, like I've said before, encroaching on our living area. I don't want to have inventory boxes stacked in my living room where people can see it when they walk in the door. So this is great. All of our guests can come in our front door. And we actually have a door off of this room that we can come in when we come in from the driveway around the back. But guests will come in the front. So they will never see our business mess. That is the best thing about the business. And so I think if you're looking for a new house, or you're looking to buy and you already run a business, and especially if you're paying for storage, then trying to find something that you can actually work out of your house and still keep it separate is great. So whether it's a detached building or whether, like us, it has some extra rooms on the end of the house that can be used for business, that's awesome. So we absolutely love the house, and I've spent, like I said, pretty much all of May and June getting organized. Now today is actually July 11th, so we are definitely almost halfway into July, and I'm just now getting back into the swing of things, getting back into my routines, and working on some things. So I wanted to update you on that and all of the other stuff. I started a new Instagram, and just trying to, keep a social media presence, and, want my name to be known. I mean, I'm not looking to get famous or anything like that, but, as is the goal and everything, you want to be able to make a little bit of money off of what you're doing and things you're spending your time on. So, decided on the Rockstar Flippers recommendation that I could sell some products on Instagram if I could get an Instagram following going. So actually decided before we moved that I would start my Instagram. And one little tip I have is there's an app called the App Cloner. I have a personal Instagram, and I didn't really want my business stuff on my personal. And I wanted to have both Instagrams on my phone. I don't want to have to log in, log out to be able to update, answer questions, or, upload pictures or anything to one Instagram or the other. So what I did was I actually cloned the app on my phone. So I have two Instagram apps on my phone. And by the way, I did the same thing with my eBay. So I have both my eBays are on my phone, and that makes things so much easier. But I did start that Instagram, and I am Resell Tessa on Instagram, so you can find me there. We had a very, very nice end of the year. We definitely had our biggest year ever as far as sales for 2018. I don't remember what my totals were. Like I said, I thought I had updated, but I didn't see that video today when I was looking at my videos. So maybe I didn't update since then. But definitely my highest sales ever for the month were December. So that is good. And I continued to do pretty well January, February, and March. And actually, I can look at those. So January and February both set right around $2,000 in sales for each month. And that was with me kind of distracted and not really listing as much because we were already kind of thinking about moving. We were already talking to a real estate agent, talking to a mortgage company. So I was already, especially February, was already getting, kind of distracted. And then by March, I don't even have my sales for March because I haven't went back and even done my totals. Because by March, we were full-fledged into the process. We were looking at houses. We'd already gotten a pre-approval on our mortgage. Kind of start, like I said, we were looking at houses. So we were constantly doing that. And so definitely the business, took a pretty good hit that month. I think I still probably hit over $1,000 for the month, but like I said, that's not even, I wasn't doing any listing. And then pretty much since April, May, and June, I pretty much have barely hit $500 each month. And that's just because I've pretty much just been letting the business ride. So I have now eBay switched over to their good till canceled listings. So in April, there were some new listings because I had old listings that I actually, originally my listings were set up for 30-day listings and I used automation rules. So they automatically updated or relisted. But when they went to good till canceled, I wanted to be able to go in and edit those and do a sell similar and make sure that everything transposed from one listing format to another. I didn't want to take a chance in there being an issue when eBay automatically transferred your listing over from a 30-day to a good till canceled. And so the month of April, knowing that we were fixing to move or, going to move, we were actually closing at the end of the month. I actually started going through and doing like 25 to 40 listings a day that had ended and editing them all and getting them relisted. And so I think that gave me a little bit of a boost the end of April, which was nice. So I may have even hit like $900 in April. It definitely still wasn't all that much. And because like I said, I didn't really list anything new. I have not even, but I've not done my totals. I never did my totals for the quarter. I did take the time right before we left. Well, in April, I did make sure that my first quarter sales tax was in, made sure that I had put in, went into my bookkeeping and made sure that I put in my mileage and things for that first quarter for those 3 months. But I haven't done any of that since then. So here we are in July, and I'm actually this week getting caught up on all those things. So I have spreadsheets that I use that I keep track of on my daily actions. So how many listings I did, how many drafts I did, how many pictures I took, that kind of thing. And so I'm just now this week getting back to all of those things and hope to get, I don't expect that it will take me long to get eBay up and running, but I do expect it's going to take me a little bit. It's probably going to take me, a month and a half before I really start seeing the sales that I was seeing back in January and February. Maybe a little bit sooner, but I would expect probably, the middle to the end of August before I really start seeing that, which is fine. That puts me right in line to get going, pick up my momentum for that last quarter of the year, which is great. So let's see here. I do have lists that I'm going by today, trying to keep things good. I want to keep my videos shorter. I know some of my first videos were longer, like over an hour. And I had some people comment about, oh, it's so long. You got to get to the point. So just working on all that. So, all right. So that's the update on everything, talking about my totals. What is coming? So like I said, obviously getting back to full-time. So I have goals of how many listings that I want to do. I actually was going to share that with you, and I didn't put that on my list, but I can still share that. One of the things that I did was I wanted to come up with a way that I could have a list, a daily list. Now, I have a list of goals. My husband and I try to sit down periodically and come up with a list of business goals, short-term and long-term. So long-term could be, some of those I need to get it done within the next couple months. Some of them I need to get done within the next half a year. Some of them are I need to get done within the next year. But I also wanted to have a clear list of daily goals, things that I needed to get done on a daily basis, because that keeps you focused and you try and hold yourself accountable. Now, this list is old. This is actually from probably March, and I haven't even actually looked at this. But what I did was I got these slips off of Amazon, these little cases, and it's kind of a dry erase. It's not actually dry erase. I forgot what these are called. So I'm terrible about, trying to tell people about these, but I know a lot of the preschool teachers use them because they can put in a worksheet inside of this, hand a dry erase marker to the student, and then the student can actually do the worksheet, and then you can wipe it off, and you don't have to print 20 copies of that worksheet. So what I did was I actually come up with my own daily goals and to-do list sheet. And I make one of these for the week, basically, is what I do. And you can see here that I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I have listed on here things that I want to get done every day. One of those things is I want at least 20 listings per day. I want to share Posh listings 3 times a day, 5 new Etsy listings per day, and spend 30 minutes per day writing. And that's my own personal goal, but I do write on the side. So I want to actually do that. Now, I may update this a little bit later. I don't have on here listing Posh items, and that's because I did have someone that was already listing my Posh for me, and she came once a week. So I wasn't really worried about that. I don't know that she's going to be coming back, so I may actually add that to my list. We may have, something else going on there. But I have one of those for each day, and I actually kept this little tally list. I don't know if you can actually see that, but what I did was I just kind of tallied, and so you can kind of see where I was at and then the week. And then down here, I just have a list. And so I actually have a bunch of, things that I want to do with the business. And sometimes I add other things into it. So this is pretty much all business on this list, but I have in the past had other things on that list, like make an appointment for the dogs for the vet, or, something along those lines, because I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget it. So this actually was kind of a game changer for me. Now, when I got busy with the house and moving and all that, everything kind of got thrown to the wind, because if any of you that have bought a house may know that it is just I don't know how somebody does it and still works a job, because I'm not working a full-time job outside of the house, and I spent so many hours like gathering up paperwork for them and sending it to them. So, that was definitely busy. But so now I'm going to get back into those things though. So I want to get back to my goal sheets, get back to my spreadsheets that keep track of those things. We were able to buy a house, and that is awesome. And the business was great because it did help us with money that we needed out of pocket. But we still have some debt that we're trying to take care of. And currently our goal is to be completely out of all of our unsecured debt by next summer. So it'll be about a year from now. Like I said, that's currently our goal. And my husband is still working. Obviously, buying a house, that was kind of a requirement. You have to have a steady job and an income coming in. We'll see how that goes. He still has a goal of wanting to be able to put in his notice and work full time on the business. But like we said, that everything kind of got thrown to the wind with buying the house and all that. And it actually shows you how hard it is to keep up with trying to run your own business and keeping that income coming in when you're busy with other things. Though I do think it would be easier if we had been doing it long enough to have a routine where you didn't really think about it. Once it becomes routine and you're not really thinking about it every day, you're just doing it. That's when I think it becomes easier to kind of incorporate in other things. Until then, you're still kind of focusing on the routine, and that's the problem, I think, is that we've not been doing this long enough or any of these parts even, we've not been doing them long enough to really consider them, a mindless routine where I don't have to really think about it anymore. So, I mean, packing is probably the one thing that I've been doing long enough now that I don't really have to think about packing an order. I can pack my orders usually in just a few minutes and be done. So, okay. So that's it. Like I said, that's our goals. I'm trying to get back in routine. We're trying to get out of debt. I'm trying to get back to the full-time working and listing, and we're trying to eventually get him home. And then the other thing would be to really work on his death pile, because like I said, by combining everything from the other house that was in separate areas and bringing it all into the same storage area here in this house, we realize how much of unlisted inventory he actually has. And so that's our goal. I don't have a death pile anymore because I did get through mine last year, and everything I bring in, I pretty much get listed and get moved pretty fast now. So, you know, that kind of stuff gets moved pretty fast and doesn't really pile up for me. So that's good. But I am going to start working on his. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Tried to keep it short without, you know, cutting you off and not giving you enough information. But I guess, you know, just let me know if you have any questions. Thinking about doing a video on my inventory system and how that works. Thought maybe you guys would like that. And of course, Instagram is going to have some great pictures. There's actually a picture of my desk and my work area and how I set it up for efficiency and organization. So if you'd like to see, you know, some more of that type of information, then by all means, please check out my Instagram. You can see some of those pictures, and we'll keep up all this stuff, and you guys just keep up the good work. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else. So happy listening, guys.